Hello and welcome to the Talking Wednesday podcast. It's me and Jack episode, and it's on a Sunday night just because we played Sunday, but we'll get into that later because it's been a pretty good week, I won't lie. But as always, if you're new here, we are the Talking Wednesday podcast. James is normally the main host, but he's off this week, so hopefully he's okay and everything's good. But if you want to become a member on James' channel, it helps. You get access to the Discord and everything. So hopefully we can do all those good stuff. But Jack, how you been? How's your week been?
Before I say that, basically, you know when you said it's Sunday night, for some reason in my head I had that voice clip of The Simpsons come into my head. where
I know the one you mean.
It's Sunday night at the Dimmadome, home of the Dugsdale Dimmadome. But honestly, after we've just watched Derby County get a last-minute loss,
we'll get into that later.
I feel amazing. But yeah, I've been all right. I've been basically setting out my... as well, as you can see, I made a little hiccup with shaping my mustache, for those of you not watching on YouTube. I accidentally may have shaped my mustache a little bit like a certain spicy Austrian painter because I went a bit too far with trimming it. And of course, naturally, you don't really want to roll with that look.
No,
in most social circles.
At the end of the day, basically what Jack's saying, he messed it up. He messed it up.
I messed it up. And I'm very sad. R.I.P. mustache.
I won't lie, for somebody who likes going to the barber, you should have gone.
Ooh, for someone who likes going to the barber.
Okay, Jake.
Just to give you a little insight, this bloke will have a haircut to do a video.
Yeah, I literally this year I've been my YouTube channel has not been having regular uploads because I've been making the most stupid excuses known to man up to like not make anything. One of which is, I haven't had a haircut, Jake. That's why you've not seen any uploads or bloody blah. So basically, my week has been me consisting of just setting out my targets for next year because it's now the 1st of December. Ooh.
Oh, don't say things like that. It means I've got 2 birthdays in a week.
Have you got your advent calendar yet? I don't know why I just said it like that. That was weird. That tone of voice was weird.
That was really weird.
Really weird.
I've got an advent calendar for my little one, but that's about it.
Yeah. But how's your week been, Jake?
Oh, I started off very poorly. I started off very ill.
Don't you worry, I remember.
I started off very, very ill and lost my voice at the start of the week. I was doing a stream and I just sounded horrible. It was a whole stream and my voice just got progressively worse to the point where my chat was going, have this, have you tried this, have you done this? Yes, is the answer. And as you can tell, it's not got much better. It's better than what it was, but it's been a good week. It's been a busy week. This week, basically, illness hit my family. My little one had it, then I had it, then the youngster got it, who is now running, not walking, running, the little sod. But it's been good, and it's just that this last week is now getting birthday and Christmas presents sorted and all that kind of good stuff sorted. So it's the time of year I actually...
I'm just laughing. Sorry, I'm just laughing so much because I can tell that it's gone to a really stressful time of year for you. Because I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's a bit cloudy outside today, Jake," and literally, rather than just going, "Oh yeah, it's not so, it's a bit awful up here too," you'd be like, "No, Jack, it's stormy. What are you talking about? Cloudy." And you'd be flying off the handle.
I don't do Christmas.
No.
From about my birthday onwards, past traumas and stuff, they just goes out the window. So I get a little bit spicy around this time of year.
a little bit.
Which doesn't help when in the previous years I've decided to have kids. So we got that kind of sorted out. I'm not sure if I'm on next week pod. I need to speak to you and James about that.
Yes.
Because I'm just not too sure what's going on with that. And I'm pretty sure James is doing Preston and Blackburn Rovers watch-alongs. Actually, I might not be on the next.
I hope he's buying them dinner first.
Sorry,
bad joke.
I might not be on the next. I definitely won't be on one, but I might not be on the next 2 podcasts actually. because the following weekend after Preston, it is my daughter's birthday. And she's going to party, and I'm looking after the youngest one because he can't go, which
And
is
of course,
a bit
as well,
annoying.
if James can't do the next couple of episodes either, put in the comments if you'd like to see a return of the Worko solo episodes, because I did one a while ago, and people liked it, and I like doing it. So put it in the comments, hashtag Worko solo.
Although, if you put Worko solo, that's just his dating life. But anyway, let's get
Yes, I know.
into the meat of everything. Sheffield Wednesday played Hull City on Tuesday night. Talk me through the game, Jack.
Well, I mean, it was really refreshing not to have the really cringe celebration of you getting mauled by the Tigers with the weird hand thing getting sung at us. That was glorious. Finally, we play Hull and it's not cringe. But it was quite an interesting game because do you know what happened, Jake?
Go on.
For the first time in over 500 days. What was it? 500 days? For the first time, after 558 days, we got a penalty! Oh my God! And I remember, like, you went absolutely insane, didn't you?
We hadn't even scored the penalty.
It was literally like Liam Palmer 4-4 all over again. It was
Yeah,
insane.
we hadn't even scored the penalty.
No.
And in my head, I was going, we won this glorious penalty. We're going to miss it now, aren't we?
Yeah.
The Wednesday in me properly went down the road of, well, we finally won one and we're not going to actually do anything from it, are we?
And I thought the greatest thing that happened at that point as well was the commentator decided to go,
God, the commentary.
Sheffield Wednesday have not scored a penalty all season. Yes, because we haven't had one. How can we score one when we haven't even had one yet?
And we haven't had
my
one for
God,
2
like
seasons.
Sometimes when it's so blatant when they don't do the research, and it's the most infuriating thing ever because it's just like.
You mean like Dean Windass coming back to play?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. Didn't Mustafa have a great game that game as well? Wasn't that amazing? Oh, yes. Or Mufasa. I swear he said Mufasa at one point as well. It's great watching an episode of The Lion King follow up with bloody football players. Amazing. And then the fact that they almost called us Sheffield United fans at the end as well was just the cherry on top.
Yep.
But it was so nice to see Michael Smith score a little tap in.
It was a good game. But the thing is, Hull City manager lost his job the very next day after their owner said if he loses Hull, Wednesday, he'll still have his job. But I don't actually think Hull City were that bad. I actually thought Hull City were really good at times. They played some good football, and they couldn't really kill the game. And we had to do Beadle, man of the match.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely bothed that game. If he wasn't in net that game, we would have really struggled. And some of the saves where I'm normally like, we're parrying that, I go, you know what, I actually don't mind that because it's actually took us out of danger. And the start of the week, you were looking at this going, what's going to happen? And he had to make some changes at half time. He had to take Windass and Ugbo off due to them both having mini injuries.
There was also Ugbo that looked like he was just going to absolutely clatter somebody.
Oh, yes, yeah.
A couple of those incidents, he was like almost in a full-on scrap with somebody.
He got yellowed, didn't he? Him and Windass nearly got us off the perfect start as well.
Yeah.
Identical positions, and we just can't bury those chances, which you're thinking something got to give eventually, because you actually look at stats. We had 16 shots, but 4 on target to their 9 and 3. But we had 8 off target. If we're having 16 shots, you want it to at least be 8 on target and 4 off.
Yeah.
And that's something that's been our crutch all season. The other good thing, clean sheet.
Absolutely.
Clean sheet helps a lot because we were looking a bit dodgy on the old goal difference at one point.
Yeah, no stains this time. Amazing.
No. Then you go into the possession stats and stuff like that. They had 62 to our 37. 16, what was it here? 16 touches in box to our 28. We had 3 saves, 9 fouls, and 6 corners. I really would like us to do a lot better from corners.
Yeah.
Generally would like to see us do better from corners because we're not great. with how many corners we
It
get.
seems more placement of them more than anything.
Yeah.
I feel like we need someone floating on the edge of the box to get it to, rather than just let's whip it in for a header, because we can't win in them. We've struggled for a team that's got loads of tall players. We seem to struggle to actually win headers for some reason. Have you noticed that? It's bizarre. It's really bizarre.
It is an odd situation we find ourselves in when it comes to game, because we do tend to struggle at getting players in the right position, or you'll get it where you'll have, say, a ball goes in, then it's too close to the keeper.
Yeah.
And I generally think our set piece takers are not the best. It's something I'd like to improve upon in the summer. And we're going to talk about that in a minute with the Derby game. But the thing that got me is Danny was happy with the game, but he was also annoyed at the same time. And I like that about Danny. I like that Danny has this happy with the game, but then he'll find a reason why it wasn't great and where we can improve. It was 3 points. We finally got a penalty with what we absolutely needed. It got that voodoo off our back. We leveled the penalty thing with Port Vale, so we don't have the record.
Oh yeah.
It felt like it was really good. It's like when they put a thing saying up about, who should be the player of the month, and I said the Oliver Langfield, the referee for Hull, for finally giving us a penalty.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what the results were midweek then in this one, and then we'll go on to the Derby game. Norwich 6, Plymouth 1.
No. Wayne Rooney's Plymouth Argyle. Don't forget. You can't miss out that bit.
Yep. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Hull City 0. Watford 1, Bristol City 0. Sheffield United 3, Oxford 0. Burnley 2, Frank Lampard's Coventry.
Oh, yeah.
City. At that time, I don't think he had been appointed for that, the new one.
No.
But he is now. Frank Lampard is now the Coventry City manager. 0-0 versus Stoke and Preston. 0-0 versus Sunderland West Brom. Interesting that Sunderland are starting to not be as strong as they were. I think you're starting to see.
They're doing a Mel Morris era Derby County, where they'd be great until Christmas, and then, oh dear.
Lampard. Ironically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Literally Lampard, yeah.
QPR 2, Cardiff City 0. Really annoying thing about that is that their only win was against us recently.
Yeah, that was really bloody annoying, isn't it? Oh.
Portsmouth Millwall game got postponed because there was a power cut and they couldn't get the power back on at Portsmouth. Yeah. There was a power cut. So it got abandoned, so that game got to be replayed. Leeds 3, Luton 0. Blackburn Rovers.
Oh dear. Oh no. What a shame for someone that we both know. Oh no. Yeah. Anyway.
Blackburn Rovers 1, Millwall 0. Middlesbrough 0 even. Derby 1, Swansea 2. And there was a really good, interesting bit in that game. I think it was this weekend, or it may have been in that game, where they had so many chances. It hit the bar, it hit the post, the keeper saved it. It was like, it's not going to be your night when that's the case. And we've been there. We've seen that happen before we went.
Wasn't that case in point, like, of us at home against Swansea as well, though?
Yeah. Was a little bit.
It's like they've got the most luck in the world. It's insane.
But let's get on to the Derby County game today.
Let's do this. Oh, Jake,
now,
yes.
Let's start it with the first bit. First half, we were woeful. I wanted to claw my eyes out. Absolutely woeful. It felt like we just had our Christmas dinner and we'd gone and been told, you've got to go play football at 3 o'clock with your niece and nephews and stuff. And you're like, but I want to sit on the sofa and veg, because that first goal defending was diabolical. There were at least 5 in the box and nobody did anything. And it set the tone from minute 1, not even minute 1, when Barry Bannon messed up the kickoff, because he went to try and do it and they just pressed. And they were saying on commentary how Derby were told to go at teams on the front foot this time, unlike Swansea. And they did. We could not handle it at all. We were really, really struggling. And annoyingly, you go into this game going, great, it's going to be another one of those games where we're at Pride Park, where we've not won since 2006 at their place. And what a record that is. Jesus Christ.
I know. Oh my God.
Not won there since 2006. So you're thinking, oh God, is this going to happen? Are we actually going to be able to do this? It's another Wednesday performance where you're thinking, here it goes again. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Passes were poor. They weren't going to the right people.
Yeah.
Danny looked like he was about to rip players' heads off.
Oh, he looked like he was going to have an aneurysm at some
I don't
times.
think his notepad had any paper left.
No.
Because he was just constantly doing that. And for video audio listeners, like writing down, it looked like he was going through the paper.
Aggressively so, yeah.
Yeah, he was fuming.
And I caught a glimpse of as well when it went out for a throw-in near the technical area, and Danny was storming towards the analyst, and his arms were going everywhere, and he was like pointing aggressively, repeatedly down at the laptop tablet thing, saying, "Get that up now! I want to see that back."
Yeah,
and it was oh boy, it was a very
he
interesting
was
thing.
not a happy man.
I would love to know. I would love there to be some sort of little inklings of what got said at halftime, because that would have been quite interesting to know. I think
the thing is, a lot of people. Danny doesn't do that though. Danny doesn't do the thing.
It's Henrik, isn't it? That does all the.
No, it's Sasha. Apparently, Sasha does a lot of the things. But that makes sense. He's the psychoanalyst person. So trying to get him in the game, he'll just turn around and say, "This is what I want you to do tactically." I think we've got a good setup in that sense in our back room, where you've got one person does one role, one person does another role. But
it is actually a very German way of doing it. A lot of teams in Germany have that sort of a. Yeah.
But second half, we made subs. So Palmer comes on and Windass comes on, replaced by Valerie and Iorfa. No Ugbo in this game. I think his knock is a little bit worse than we first thought. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's 48 hours. They had to check on it, and I think it was just not risking for it. Interestingly, though, Blue Guy, the other version of Twitter,
but basically where all the employees that Elon fired all went to create a new platform with the money that he paid him.
Had McNeil's shirt hung up in the thing, but McNeil wasn't in the squad. So I'm wondering if Josh Windass was a late fitness test.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they brought McNeil just in case Windass doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if there was a bit of that in it. But on Twitter, it was 1-1, and on Blue Guy, it was another picture. It was interesting. I thought it was... I hadn't thought about it until I saw it and going... I was like, oh, well, that means McNeil playing then if not Iorfa, other one.
If Windass.
No, Windass. Windass wasn't playing, or if EK Ugbo wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And remember, we didn't have Bernard because Bernard picked up a yellow card. So he had his fifth. And interestingly, Baz got a yellow card, which wasn't a yellow card.
He literally rolled it back to where the throwing was supposed to be taken. He didn't even throw it away.
No.
But it's interesting as well how, yes, you're supposed to get yellow carded from this season for, throwing the ball away, kicking the ball away, whatever.
I've not seen any other club get it.
Literally, the first week that was policed, and then it stopped. And then all of a sudden, let's bring the rule back. Let's actually start policing it again, even though all he did was roll it back to where the throw-in was being taken from, which is utterly insane. It's just mad. It's mad. The refereeing is so inconsistent.
They still were kept on having shots, though. We had to keep Mendes Lang at bay, and my God, he's a good player.
I sort of saw what Marvin Johnson mouthed at him
we're not
through the game, and
going to say it.
That.
No. Yes, I have a funny feeling those two didn't get along.
It may get brought up on a debrief or something like that, because that's a bit sort of where things get let loose a little bit more.
Yes, we might bring it up on a debrief. We'll see.
We'll see.
Derby County was still going at us, and you're like, something's got to change. And the thing is, Danny made a lot of different tactical changes in that. He must have made about 3. And we had to keep
and that was all in the second half, wasn't it?
Yeah. Beadle had to make a fantastic save from Jerry Yates. That would have buried it,
wasn't it?
That would have buried it completely. Jamal Lowe comes on for Gassama. Gassama had a good game, kept on going down a little bit too easy looking for free kicks. I get it. You're trying to slow the game down a little bit to try and set ourselves a bit better. And for whatever reason, it didn't work, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But up steps Mr. Birthday Boy himself, Marvin Johnson birthday as well. But Barry Bannon doing Barry Bannon things.
Oh, it was Oh no, but Jake, he just passed it into the net. He just passed it into the top corner.
Just for clarification.
For clarification and context, I've got a load of friends who I play cricket with, and they're all, for the most part, Derby County fans, and they just can't admit that it was a really good goal. They're like, oh, our keeper's dreadful. He was just stuck in no man's land. Oh, he's just passed it into the top corner. If I was in the net, I would have saved that. Like,
well, the thing is with that, their keeper made a save and put himself out of position.
Yeah, exactly.
And Barry Bannon had just gone, oh, you're out of position.
Conveniently missing that part, aren't they?
Yeah.
But, you know.
I also love the fact that Barry Bannon will love this even more with his missus being a Nottingham Forest fan and how he goaded all the Derby County players.
He was like, shush, calm down. It was so funny.
With the name going, remember this name, remember who I am, ran all the way to our away fans to celebrate. It was a fantastic goal. And from then, we kind of started to perk up a little bit. It felt like the belief was back. It felt like we could do something. And I was really interested with Saba's attitude when he got subbed off for Chalobah. He looked peed. He didn't look happy. Now,
at the same time, though, where was all of that passion in the game before that? Because it just he was non-existent. He just played like he couldn't be bothered. And that's been the case every time he's played this season so far.
Yeah.
He just doesn't play like he's remotely bothered. And then when he does have a chance at something, he keeps trying to be the big hero and do it all himself rather than just look up and cross it like he's clearly been instructed to. Because every time he loses out in that sort of a situation, when he's running down through on goal, whatever, the bench is going apoplectic about the fact that he's lost it yet again. And
and to be fair, second half, we still were giving the ball away, but then Derby started to do the same thing as well, which was interesting. Chalobah came on and he did well. He actually did really well. He had a couple of passes which were misplaced, which is understandable. He's not really properly played a 13 game.
Admittedly, though, some of those passes that were misplaced were only because the player it was supposed to be going to weren't in the position that they were supposed to be in. Like Bannon, there was once where he passed it to the left-hand side of him, like 90 degrees to the left of him, and it just went straight to a Derby player, but that's because Bannon, for some reason, had decided to camp out at the left centre-back spot, not keeping in his midfield position for whatever reason. And so that's why I was annoyed at that particular moment, because it's like, that's not your position.
No. And then we make another sub. We bring Smith off and put Pato on. These games are what Pato is here for. Pato is the man for these games because he just bullied players. And he got into really good positions. And I just got to give it to Shea Charles. Excellent defending right near the end of the game. Excellent defending to try and make sure we keep it. And you're thinking 94th minute. And I think all of us on the watch will go going, a draw, we'll take that after how we started. Like, it's not been great. 93rd minute, a ball goes in by Patterson. Jamal Lowe sticks his foot out, taps it in. We take all 3 points at home. Away from home again. And that's 6 points on the road now, which is fantastic. The other thing is I also love Jamal Lowe's celebration, if you saw it. Looking at his time going, oh, that's up.
Oh, yeah.
It was proper housery.
Incredible. Oh.
But I will say this. I don't think we deserve all 3 points. I think Derby probably were the better team. But we smashed and grabbed. Second half, we did improve. But we had to go kicking and screaming to get it.
I would say if looking at just the first half, Derby deserved the win. But if you looked at the second half, it was more of a draw. It looked more of a draw, I thought. But I don't think we deserved the win. But we didn't. I don't think with the second half being taken into consideration, I don't think we deserved the loss either.
No,
you know?
It's a smash and grab.
Yeah,
it's literally a smash and grab. And how many times have we had that done to us? where
it's just so
we
nice to
played
not-
really well. And for the last couple of weeks, we've heard Danny say the performance has been really good. The performance was really good. This is one of the one where you can go, the performance was rubbish, but we stayed in it and we got it.
Yeah.
And the players, and the thing is, for someone like Patterson and Jamal Lowe to get on the end of these as well is even better. These are players who are just on the fringes, so it'll do their confidence the world of good. I think that's Jamal Lowe's first goal since the start of the season against Plymouth.
Yeah.
So
he's always been on the bench since then for some reason, hasn't he?
But he's also plays. Everyone thought he came into the striker. He's always played as a bit of a left winger cut inside.
Yeah.
But Derby County had 13 shots. We had 10. They had 4 shots. We had 2. Oh, look. 2 shots on target. We go from.
Aha!
When have we ever done that? 51% possession to 49. 7 fouls to their 20 fouls. 1 yellow card to their 5.
They can't argue with the fact that in that second half, for like the last sort of 15, 20 minutes, Derby decided to start playing rugby rather than football. It was disgraceful. They were just fouling left, right, and centre because they were getting petulant.
I will say,
Josh Winders,
had some very poor free kicks in good positions.
He squandered those free kicks.
Kind of did me head in a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we managed to... Ironically, only 1 offside all game. Which I wasn't expecting. But we do get all 3 points, and it's 6 points on the road. It back-to-back wins, which I don't think we've done in a long time. Let's go through the other results. Sheffield United get a 1-0 win right near the end of the game. They just seem to be grinding out results, don't they?
Yeah.
Middlesbrough 3, Hull City 1. Watford QPR 0-0. Oxford versus Millwall 1-1. Blackburn Rovers 1, Leeds 0.
Oof.
Leeds have got a really good home form, but their away form is dreadful.
It's atrocious, isn't it?
Yeah. Burnley 2, Stoke 0. Norwich 4, Luton Town 2.
Are we going to see a return to League One for Luton?
Well, they can't sack him, can they?
No, they can't.
He got like a 1.5 million compensation in it.
The amount they've got to pay him if they sack him is ridiculous. And there's actually fan petitions to get for him to be sacked, as well now, which is
Norwich. That 10 goals in a week.
Yeah,
that's
it's a good
insane.
time to be a Norwich fan right now.
Yeah,
wasn't when they played us, but
no.
Good time for him
Bristol
this week.
City 4, Plymouth 0.
Oh no!
So that means they conceded.
See,
ironically, they conceded 10 goals this week.
Oh no! Yes, they have. Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh no!
The thing is, Plymouth. I don't know what Plymouth fans were going to bet with Rooney. A lot of Birmingham fans warned them about this. The week where Plymouth, you look at the results, you think, oh, that's good, but it's. I don't know. I just don't know with it. I think it's going to go one way. We probably see him sacked again.
I think the problem with Rooney is he keeps coaching players at teams, that are in the Championship, expecting them to be of the same mental footballing standard as Man United players. And that's what Birmingham fans and players have both come out and said, is that he'll tell them to do something at one point at the start of the game and then not remind them throughout the game because he just expects them to have the ability of those Man United players that he played with to just keep that in mind and just keep going with it. And he doesn't keep reminding them to do certain things. Whereas if you look at Danny, he's like literally every 30 seconds he's on the sideline saying, no, do this, do this, do this. And so
Coventry
that's
2,
his problem, I think.
Cardiff 2, good draw for Frank Lampard, started their era. Swansea 2, Pompey 2. Preston 1, West Brom 1. West Brom are unbeaten in 9, but they're all draws. So, not it great, but you're like, when they started, you saw Josh Maja doing really well, and he kind of gone off the boil. And, of course, it was Sheffield Wednesday 2, Derby County 1. So, let's have a look at the table. That put Wednesday in a mid-table. Yes. So, we are currently in 12th place with 25 points, with Bristol City with 25, Millwall with 25, Norwich with 25. Blackburn Rovers have got 28 in 8th. And if you want to go further down, Coventry. Actually, I'll go from Derby. Derby on 20, Coventry 18, Oxford 18, Preston 18, Luton 18, Cardiff 17, Plymouth 17, and it's 15, 15, and 13 for Hull City, QPR, and Pompey. But our goal difference has got better.
I like Pompey.
Yeah, same. I think Matt Ritchie scored at the weekend as well.
Oh.
Boyhood Pompey fan. But goal difference, -5, 25 points. Big game coming up, though, that are going to be interesting because it's a busy month, December.
Yeah.
If we got mid-table, if we're still here by the end of December, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine about this. Like, as long as we're not in that, as long as we keep about 10 points ahead of the sort of relegation lot, I suppose. Yep. So, like, as long as we keep above the 16th, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. And can I just say as well, right? We finished in this position under Stuart Gray. No one was complaining then. Everyone was dead happy about that. But because we're not third, because of we spent all of this money at this point bloody 9 years ago. Like, it's 9 years on.
I think he's building. I think he's building, and I think
this is the first of Danny's 4 years to build a foundation, I think.
The start of the season, a lot of people got a little bit ambitious and saw the 4-0 and thought we'd wipe it. Where I think if Danny can build a solid foundation as a mid-table team, and then say because how tight the championship is, because Sheffield United are top with 38, Burnley 36, Leeds 35, so there's a bit of a gap going there.
Yeah.
Your playoff places are 35, 33, 30, and 30. There's 5 points between where we are in playoffs.
Exactly.
You go on a run, you're in that playoff position, but you have to keep it going.
Yeah.
2 wins on the bounce will help. We have to get a lot better defensively. We can't keep having games where we're having to come from behind. We have to learn how to either A, kill games off when we're ahead and add more goals, or B, stop being that team that can't do it until they've got a telling off at half time.
Yeah.
Or need a kick up the backside because we're not playing well. But if we can be mid-table round January time and making more points away from that bottom half, I would be very happy. It will build us into a really good position going into the January window. And talking of January window, that brings me perfectly on to
let's get right into the news, as Keemstar would say on YouTube.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So,
someone compared me to him the other day when I have a beard anyway. Like, oh God. Yeah.
So, Sheffield Wednesday are a number of teams looking at Louis Barry. So he is currently on loan at Stockport County. He got 14 goals. He was there last season as well. A lot of clubs have been made aware that apparently Villa are wanting to recall him back from Stockport and send him on loan in the Championship. Now, this morning there were talk that it's us and Middlesbrough, which, if you were looking at that, makes sense, mid-table teams. I did say maybe it could be someone else in my video, because maybe they might not, just because development, but you never know. But Danny did turn around and say that I have spoken before about what we need in preparation for January. It's not about signing players for the squad. We must sign impact players, different players. This is what we have to try. I have said in the summer that we will need such player from the Premier League club to improve the squad. It's not always just about convincing players. You need the full package to look at. To get a player from the Premier League club will increase our level. So, what's your thoughts on this one, Jack?
It's interesting because he's primarily a left winger, and that says to me that he's not happy with the winger options at our disposal already. And that's making me think, are we having a rethink of who we've actually got in our ranks, and are we potentially getting him in to then be sending someone else out in that sort of a position? I know that's possibly not what's going on, but it just puts that question in your mind as well. Like,
also, it makes you also think about Olaf.
Oh yeah, exactly.
How quick is Olaf going to be back? So we don't
Yeah.
have to use him quickly. Maybe it's the case that he comes back at the end of the year like he's scheduled
Yeah.
to, but we don't want to play him all the time.
And then we
in
don't
January.
have to rush him like,
Yeah,
oh god, we've got no other options. Quick, Kabatsky's only just back. Put him in anyway.
Maybe there's a bit of that.
Yeah.
We have done well with the likes of Charles and Beadle. We're showing club what we can do to improve players. Now, last time we were in January window, we were very much in the position because we were near the relegation zone. A lot of people didn't want to come near us. And Danny was a new manager. Ironically, also, Pervader is out for the season for Sunderland. So it's a good thing we didn't go near him now. But I think it's one of those things where if we can get a Pervader in, that kind of player who could come in and make an impact. Ugbo made an impact. Like, I'm annoyed with how many people keep dissing Ugbo. I know he got to do it, but you look at what he's doing when he's not got the ball. He's making space, he's creating chances.
Yeah.
He just needs to get the goals now. I think if he wasn't a buy, people wouldn't be having a go at him. Or if he was
free, if he was a free transfer in, there wouldn't be anywhere near as much stick on him. But because we paid money for him, that's why for some reason everyone's got a much more critical microscope over him. And he's going to come good. Like, the amount of times that he's been so unlucky not to score is ridiculous. It's just been, like, amazing defending that's a block on the line or something that stopped him scoring most of the time now.
Yeah.
It's going to come good. Like, it frustrates me that people aren't giving him a chance.
I think for him, he needs to just not overthink it and beat himself up, because he's seen it a couple of times where he come off the pitch.
And I think that's his biggest problem as well, though, because he's been overthinking it, and when you overthink it too much, you can't do it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. But you stop overthinking it, you don't even remotely think about it, and you just relax. And when one comes in, so many more follow it as well. So it's just, I think it's just about, like, not him. He just needs to not get in his head so much when he's in front of goal.
I'm going to bring in two stories here, because one's not in the document. God, just remembered it. Jamal Lowe's situation at play-by that he got to wait. Well, considering today that he got the winner, this all makes sense. He's been a regular on the bench and showed what he can do. Danny turned around and said he has a big impact when I have subbed him in. He gives us a calmness on the ball. I said the Sunday trip to Derby County. We have in front of us just three positions. Sometimes I have to make a decision. I know he had quality and we both know what parts he has to work on. I think he will improve, and now for him it's about making the next opportunity that he can come on very soon.
Oh, can it, Danny? Oh my God. Oh.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. We've seen what he can do.
It's such a wonderful thing to see things like this, isn't it? When that's exactly what's happened.
Today, the other one I want to bring in with the Charlie McNeil stuff. So people have been talking about Charlie McNeil. Why is he not playing? Why is he not in? And Danny basically said, look, we spoke about it. We're both a bit bad that he can't get in the squad at the minute. And I think it's about biding his time. He's working really hard in training. He's doing well in the under-21s. He wants to play. I want him to play, but finding the right time and the right moment. He said, we'll have a word in January and see what happens. Maybe with McNeil, someone goes out on loan. He goes out on loan to go play football and get minutes under his belt so we can get him ready for it. And maybe it's just not worked yet because Danny don't think he's there yet.
Do you know somewhere that would be really good for him, actually, is if he goes out on loan to somewhere like Reading, because their problem is they've got really great midfield options that are scoring a lot, but their forwards are not hitting the ground running as much as they probably could. But the coaching staff that they've got is immense for League One. And I think that would be a really good sort of a place for him to go, because, yes, they're not high up the table, but if they get someone in, like, for example, Charlie McNeil, to get scoring at the rate that Bailey's scoring for Lincoln in League One, then I think that would be a good match for both of those clubs.
Yep.
And I think with McNeil as well, watching him when he played against Hull, for example, I think it's his physicality that's letting him down. He's still got that sort of, like, small frame, the sort of the weedy, like, oh, I've just come out of the under-21 level. You know, when you put a youngster in and they're suddenly faced with these burly, like, they get muscled off the ball too easily and that sort of thing. That was kind of happening again for him against Hull, and I think that's probably why he's not getting selected for even the bench a lot of the time to come on or whatever, because he's then coming up against defenders that are really physically strong, and I don't know if he can cope with that quite as well as the other strikers can.
It could be a case that they want him to bulk up a little bit, because
Yeah.
he did go straight from playing under 21 football on loan to loan spell to Newport and Stevenage, and didn't really play many games for either.
And then they put him in midfield at bloody Newport, didn't they? Was it Newport or was it Stevenage that they put him in central
Stevenage.
midfield?
He can play there.
just-
He can play there.
Yeah.
He's attacking mid who can play up top, so it'll be interesting. I'm not going to use the story that I've pasted in. I'm going to use the official website. Sheffield Wednesday have got it that youngster Junior Kamawa. I think that's how you say it.
Yep. Junior Kamwa, I think.
Kamwa, that's it.
Junior Donald Kamwa.
Junior Kamwa has signed a professional contract with Wednesday. The 18-year-old was previously on the books of Bradford City, had been on trial with Wednesday's under 21s in recent weeks. Speaking with Wednesday, he said, "I'm delighted. I worked hard for it. I've been waiting to get my professional contract, and it's a proud day for me and my family, and now I want to push on. I've been here for a few weeks, and the boys has helped me adapt and get into it. The coach who played had taken me really well, and I'm really happy to see what's going on. I think I bring something different to the team. I'm a direct winger, and I use my tricks to beat my man and create chances." If you can find the video on Twitter of him, it's really good.
He looks very good. He looks very good.
I want to push on now to the under 21s and see where that takes me. Steve Haslam is still at Wednesday at the moment. He's not gone yet, but he's going soon. Junior is a young player who's been on trial with us in a few weeks, so we'll see him in close quarters. He's an attacking player capable of playing at both flanks, and he adds to whatever we have at under 21 level. He's integrated himself into the club and very well, and the aim now has been to kick on. We are looking forward to working with him and seeing how he develops in the future. And I think this is a good one. I think this is a really good player to come in. If you've seen bits of what he does, I spoke to a Bradford City fan who I know who said, good player, probably needs an arm around his shoulder, probably a good place to go at Wednesday where he can try and improve and get forward. So we'll see there. But yeah, it's interesting to see us be able to get some player like this and get them in. And it's about building the net people up into it, because the net people up is always interesting when it comes to with the development. The development is crucial, because...
And we need to start doing that, because clearly Chansiri can't do the same level of splashing the cash like he could in 2015 to 17. So I think the remit... it was Joss Lukai's remit back in the day to put you through, and I think he did that, but a bit too forcefully and quickly. He was way too aggressive with that, and that's why it didn't really work out for him, I guess. But I think Danny's got a very good outlook with it, because he seems to understand the... I mean, I still think we need more coaches at under 21 level, but that's a whole other conversation.
We probably do, but cash. That cost
it's
money
all
is like
cash.
where you're taking it from. I think the other thing is, just to remember, one player we did get from Bradford went on to have a good career from us with Jermaine Johnson. That's where he came from. Not through the academy, but he was a good player for them. But let's see what happens. I like the fact that we can do these deals, and we're starting to get to a point where we are improving the under 18s and 21s. So we need to see more of it. Let's see what happens next. But that brings us on to rounding the show off. That I'd had a mare, because beforehand I had the wrong week in. I am like a week ahead of the game, because I've got such a busy week coming up over the following week. And my brain was already there, so I missed the week.
You totally didn't mention that at the start of the episode. My God.
Yeah, so I missed the week, so I've managed to bring it back and redo it. So Sheffield Wednesday will have Preston North End in their next game, and this will be a 12:30 kickoff. I'm pretty sure Dex is doing a watch along for this, so join him for that. But the thing is, I think Preston North End are a weird club at the minute, because they're not in a good position in the league, but they're also
putting it mildly.
And they're not creating enough. Heckingbottom seems like he got a hell of a job there and needs a good window. So their record is 3-9-6 at 18 points, puts them in 18th place. Their home record is 3-5-2, 14 points. Their away record is 0-4-4, 4 points away from home. Kind of got that situation where I'm annoyed about that because where are we playing them? They're coming to us.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't like this because we had this with Cardiff recently. So they're coming to us. So we are the home game. So let's see what happens there. They've got 17 goals, 25 goals against. They got a draw. Has that been updated? It probably has. Yeah, they got a draw versus West Brom at the weekend. So at the end of the day, what are you thinking, Jack? Think we could try and keep the run going?
I hope so. I think we've got to keep in mind that what happened against Cardiff could happen again. Bearing in mind too, look what happened against Watford at home. They were also a team that were really not doing very well, and then they decided to come to our place.
If you don't talk, it won't happen.
Don't speak it into existence, Jack. Otherwise, the universe might just grant your deepest, darkest fears. We need to be cautious because Preston are always a bit of a bogey team, especially since. Yes, they weren't so much when we were playing them in League One in like 2011, but since they've come up to the Championship again, it's been a totally different story. It's been quite difficult playing against Preston. They're always a very well set up team, and Paul Heckingbottom teams in general are very difficult teams for us to play against. I think no matter where he's managed. So it's
be interesting, won't it?
I can possibly see a point, I think, from this one.
You know what the beautiful thing is, though? Is that we got a week beforehand. So we got that whole thing Danny liked where he got a week of training. It's the following week where it's going to be interesting because it's another 2-game week the following week. And when they got to go into this thinking that we have to... one of our biggest things is our home form is crap.
Yeah,
we got the situation that I think Leeds have got in reverse. Home form, fantastic. Away form,
terrible. And
terrible.
Yeah, for us, it's that's been the case for a long time, though, hasn't it? I think.
You know what? I'm talking out my backside. Our home form is 12 points. Our away record is 13. So they're quite equal.
About even then. Oh, okay.
That's fair enough. So it's 3-3-3 at home and it's 4-1-4 at away. So that's interesting. Okay, fair enough. But the thing is, I think goals against 26, goal for 20. We need to improve a little bit at home, though. I think there've been too many games at home recently where it's more we haven't put it to bed. And that's the bit that
I think we've had that problem where we've gone, oh, we're 1-0 up. Great. We can relax now. We can sit on the 1-0. Ha. We don't need to press anymore and try and score anymore. That's just that's what we need to cut out, I think. That's what we've been doing far too much.
But it's a 6-pointer of a week, which is good away from home. Anything else to add to this, Jack?
Just stop being like the fact I've got to address it because I was modding in your chat for the watch along against Derby. Stop being so bloody grumpy with baseless like criticism where it's not being. I've noticed a lot of people are making points of this person's crap, that person's crap. We're not doing this right. We're not doing that right. But they're not actually then saying why they think that this person is crap or that thing is crap or this thing is crap. They're just saying that's crap. And then they get pressed for like an explanation and they just don't say a word. They don't say anything. They don't explain their point of view in detail. They just... And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating, and it's not productive. If you've got a point of criticism, say what you would do to improve that point of criticism. You know, like that's what's been really getting on my nerves online and even at the club itself when when I went recently to watch them against Norwich, there were fans saying, "Oh, Ugbo's crap. Ugbo's proper crap. Why is he crap?" And they said nothing. They didn't say anything, and it's my biggest gripe at the moment. But I don't know.
At the end of the day, we put forward and look at the positive. It's 6 points, 2 wins in a week away from home. We push on to the next week. We try and change things again and go again. And again, you got to remember, it's our busy time of the year coming up now. So we need to start putting a run together. Probably the best time to do so. So let's see what happens. But thank you for watching. This has been the Talking Wednesday podcast.
See you later.